Welcome. There's going to be an annular eclipse of the Sun visible from North America on the 14th of October 2023. This video will tell you a little bit about what an annular eclipse is and how to best observe it. There are two types of eclipses. Lunar eclipses, that's when the moon wanders into the Earth's shadow and turns a beautiful red color as seen here. There's several different types of lunar eclipses. There's partial eclipses, penumbral eclipses, and total lunar eclipses. But we're not dealing with those today. We're dealing with a solar eclipse. And that's when the moon's shadow crosses the face of the Earth. There are partial solar eclipses, annular solar eclipses, and total solar eclipses. And the sort of eclipse we're dealing with today is an annular eclipse. It comes as a surprise to some people that the size of the moon in the sky changes as the moon gets further and closer to the Earth. Its orbit is actually quite elliptical. And this is a picture of what it's like at perigee, that's when it's at its nearest to the Earth, and apogee when it's at its furthest. And it's quite surprising how much that size changes. To a lesser extent, the Sun does the same thing. Here is a picture of the Sun at perihelion and aphelion, and you can see that it's slightly larger. There's only a few arc seconds difference between the two of them, but it actually makes a difference. Annular eclipses occur when the moon is at its furthest point away from the Earth, and the shadow of the moon doesn't quite reach the surface of the Earth, as shown here. The umbra is the dark shadow, the thing that will actually produce the eclipse. The annular eclipse is in the penumbra around that area. So when you're in that penumbral area, you'll see the moon in the middle of the Sun and a ring of the Sun around the edge of the moon, hence it's called an annular eclipse. The path of this particular eclipse starts in the Pacific Ocean, crosses North America, then moves south through Central America, then through Colombia and Brazil out into the Atlantic Ocean. We can take a look at the more detailed path of the eclipse over the United States, shown here. The whole of North America will actually see at least a partial eclipse of the Sun. So if you look at where you are on this map and read along those pink lines, you can see where your percentage is. I'm in Washington, D.C., so that's about a 30% eclipse. As I said, it's going to happen on the 14th of October of this year. It's an annular eclipse, as I've explained. And the path of totality starts off in Oregon, goes through Nevada, Utah, New Mexico, and Texas. It clips a little bit of California and a little bit of Arizona, but apart from that, that's really the main part of the eclipse. And as I said, every part of the United States will at least see a partial eclipse. However, the times of the eclipse changes from place to place. Here's a table put together by NASA of some of the main places along the eclipse line. You can see that the eclipse lasts for a couple of hours in each location, and it will start off as a partial eclipse and go to a maximum phase for a few minutes. If you're not along this eclipse path in one of these locations, you should check your local times. Eclipse chasing can become quite a hobby, and to do it properly you need to plan your trip well in advance. And the major part of that is checking the places that will have the best chance of having clear weather. Then book ahead. Often you need months, sometimes years, to do that. For example, the eclipse of 2024 is going to go over Niagara, and if you've not booked a hotel there by now, you're not going to get into one. You should have high quality eclipse glasses. Be careful not to buy some of the cheap knockoff ones that are available online. Get good quality ones. Bring a camera. A telescope isn't really necessary unless you're trying to do some specific research. Bring warm clothes. One of the things that surprises most people is that during the total phase of the eclipse, it gets quite cold because, of course, you don't have any sunlight. And major warning, eclipses can become an obsession. Some people go to try to see every eclipse around the world and spend a fortune doing that. They are absolutely stunning when you see them, and very emotional, actually, which surprised me when I first saw one of these things. It's really worth the effort to try to get involved in one of these, but be warned, it may become a lifelong obsession. If you have any further questions, please leave a comment in the comment section below. Otherwise, Thank you for watching, and until next time, stay safe and goodbye.